And it is time to get started. Hey, welcome to At The Track Live. I am Coach James. I am the creator and lead instructor for All About Aerodynamics. What is All About Aerodynamics, you ask? Glad you asked, even if you didn't ask. All About Aerodynamics is a science program where I use Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about a range of science and physics-related topics, including but not limited to friction, force, aerodynamics, drag, lift, Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion, kinetic energy, potential energy, elastic force, a whole range of topics after we have covered all of the science topics and we've conducted experiments to drive home those ideas. Then and only then do I bring in about 400 different Hot Wheels cars, and each student has the opportunity to select a Hot Wheels car they think would be fastest in a series of races based on everything they've learned in the class. Once they have selected their cars, they weigh their cars, they test the speed of their cars, they check the year the car was manufactured, the materials the car is made from. Everything that they can observe, they document in a spreadsheet, and then the only thing left to do is race the car. So they set up a 1/64th scale quarter-mile drag strip and race the cars. We have a little tournament, and they observe how their cars perform. Did their cars perform up to or below their expectations? And if they had the opportunity, would they select that car again, or would they make a new choice based on everything they observed? In the end, we have fun with Hot Wheels cars, and we learn science. What could be better? If you would like more information about our science program, all about aerodynamics and how to bring it to your school or your organization or your special event, then just go to our website, aaAerodynamics.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, AAAerodynamics, and all the information that you need is in the bio. But this is not all about aerodynamics. This is all about Aerodynamics presents At The Track Live. So, At The Track Live is my chance to introduce new cars into the fleet. I mentioned I bring 400 cars in for the students to choose from, but in reality, we are now up to 990 cars total in our fleet and counting. We're going to be adding more cars today. And I have probably hundreds of cars, Hot Wheels cars, in storage that I bought, put in storage, haven't opened. Well, I need to introduce those cars into the fleet so the students can have an opportunity to select those. But before I do that, I have to catalog the cars, I have to take a picture, shoot a little video, all of that. And At The Track Live is my opportunity to do that. So every week, I go into storage, grab out a handful of cars, we crack those open, take a look at those, take my picture, get my video, enter the information into the spreadsheet, assign the car a number, and then it's ready to go. But since we already have the cars, since we already have the track set up, might as well see which of the new cars is the fastest. So every week we have a little tournament with the new cars that are introduced, and we take them to the track and we race them and we see which of the new cars is the fastest. But wait, there's more. You have the opportunity to participate. All you have to do is go to AtTheTrack.live, and you're going to have 3 options. One's the YouTube stream link, one's the Twitch stream link, but the third link, the most important link, says choose your car. If you select that option, you will be taken to this page. And on this page, you will see all of the cars that are currently in the All About Aerodynamics At The Track Live fleet, listed, numbered, and ready to be selected. You can scroll through, and when you find the car that you think is going to be faster than all of the other cars that have been introduced, all you have to do is click on that car. Let's pick a random number. I'd say 303. Let's find car number 303. And that would be, oh, this one, the Super Stinger. Car number 303, you click on that. You can take a look at it. You can see it looks to be a plastic. This might be metal on, no, it couldn't be metal on metal. Definitely looks like a metal base, and the blue part looks to be plastic. So plastic body on a metal base. And if this is the car that you want to pick, Never Ending picked this car a couple of months ago, and it turned out to be the fastest car in our fleet. It won the tournament, and it went on for maybe a week or so to be our fastest in fleet car, and then it lost. But if this is the car that you want to pick, or if there's another car you want to pick, let's say you want to pick the Sky Dome. I'm waiting for the picture to pop up because I don't remember what this looks like. This one, the Sky Dome, from the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. If this is the car you want, all you have to do is take that number, in this case 427, take that, drop it in the chat, I will pull that car, and just like that, you are entered into the tournament. And we will race your pick against the cars that I introduce, against the cars that other viewers pick. Hey, Virgo and Roughshod's already picked his car. It's ready to go. Christopher, he picked a car. It's ready to go, and we've got cars that are going to be introduced. And whichever car happens to win the tournament is going to have the opportunity to take on our current fastest in fleet car, which is this one. It is the RD09, which has been our fastest in fleet car for a little over a month now. And it has proven to be pretty fast. We've kind of gone through it, especially the last couple of months, a lot of turnover as far as our fastest in fleet car, but this car has just steadily beaten out every car it's faced, and there is really not much to say. Its performance has been pretty dominant, but it is interesting because of the back end. And sometimes we get cars that don't really follow along with the sort of trends. And what we get is cars like this. So usually the back ends of the cars, we really want a flat back end so that it presses right up against the launching block. And this is what the launcher looks like. And these blocks, these blue blocks right here, that's what the cars press up against before they get pushed out. And usually you want as much surface area on the back of the car touching this launching block, because it's going to be more likely to result in a good clean push out of the launcher. And the car staying straight on the track is important. It's the most important thing. If a car can stay straight, then it's not going to bounce around, obviously, and that reduces friction. And that is one of the three forces that's working against these cars and their forward momentum. So this car, the RD09, only has, as you can see, these two kind of winged points coming off the back, and they just touch the outer edges of the launching block. And so my initial thought was, okay, this car could do well, but it's probably not going to get consistent launches because of that setup in the back of the car. And I was wrong. This car has been pretty consistent with its launches, and it just goes to show that there are no kind of hard and fast rules. It is really just it's the main reason why I like racing the cars, because you just never know. I've seen at this point hundreds, maybe thousands of races, and still you see trends. And that's why I have the students keep the data, because there are definitely trends in certain types of cars and things you see that that work, but there's always the chance that we get a car like the Super Stinger, like the Dogfighter, like this one, like the Mercedes-Benz 500e, that sort of defy all the rules and do well on the track. And a lot of cases it comes down to matchups, how the cars match up. But after a month of being the champion, the RD09 has proven that it's not really a fluke situation. There's something to this car, and we've put it in the wind tunnel, which we do every Wednesday, Wind Tunnel Wednesday, at 4 p.m. on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. And we put these cars in the wind tunnel, and when the air is flowing over, under, and around those cars, we're able to kind of see some of the things that make our fastest cars fast. So the RD09 is the car that is waiting around, and it's gonna end up facing off against one of the cars that we introduced today. Hey, Christopher. Let's see. You know what? It's funny that you mention those cars, because as we introduce the cars today, the first one that I'm going to introduce is, in fact, this one, the McLaren W1, which I picked up recently, and I just want to make sure, I've got to check and make sure that I do not have this one in the fleet, and this is why I keep the spreadsheet and keep it handy. There are a number of McLarens. I just saw one last night. The McLaren, this one, the McLaren Speedtail, is one of my favorite cars. I really like this one. And I saw a red one in the store last night and almost picked it up. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. Let's see. We have McLarens. We have a P1, a Elva, a Spider, 720s, F1s, a Solus, a Senna, but we do not have a McLaren W1, but we do now. So let's go ahead and crack this open, take a look at it. Oh, wait, there's something on the back. And excuse my voice, I'm just kind of at the back end of getting over a cold. So let's see. McLaren W1, born in 2025 in Woking, in the United Kingdom. Designer McLaren. Get in line to be among the few who get to drive the McLaren W1 as the McLaren F1 and P1 successor. This next generation supercar is designed to push the boundaries of speed and had a limited production run. Okay, so here we go. There's an important message for you. Oh, there's an important message. Where is it? I guess I'll find it. I'll find it somewhere. All right, let's see. We've got the McLaren W1. And this car is weighing in at 30.1 grams. And just for the sake of comparison, the RD09 is 38.2 grams. Oh, okay. I will check that out. And we are going to take a look at this McLaren right here. Here we go. All right. The McLaren W1. And I might as well take my video first. The video is because sometimes I end up doing little promo things, but also because there is an online version of All About Aerodynamics, and obviously the students wouldn't be able to look at the cars in person, so this is kind of the next best thing to give them that 360-degree view of their car. This is car number 991. We are going to hit our 1,000th car next week, and I have figured out which car it's going to be, and I didn't have to go I didn't have to go very far. It turns out I had kind of forgotten that I have a storage bin with just special cars. It's usually like premium cars, a lot of cars with real riders that we can't use, but in there are a bunch of character cars and other things that actually have plastic wheels. So that was a pretty good fortune that I stumbled across that and found the car that's going to be car number 1000. Let's see here. So Christopher, yeah, so we're looking at that hood right there, and it has a little, so there's a little kind of pocket right there. I don't know, on the real car, I'm sure that's designed in some way to help this car either push air to the engine or divert the air around. And this is definitely looking at the front. So there's a lot of little pockets on this car that, because it's a Hot Wheels car, are kind of sealed up. So on the real car, let me get my little pointer out. We're talking about like right here. That's not on the real car. That's definitely not going to be a headlight. There's going to be some type of intake, and it probably diverts the air over the tires, and then maybe back to this area, and then it probably passes. This area is probably open on the real car, and it passes through and somehow sends controls the airflow over, under, and in this case around the body of the car. With the Hot Wheels cars, most of those, now that McMurdy Spearling that we had last week, that was interesting because it actually had the holes and cutouts, which most of the time the Hot Wheels cars just have the look and the appearance of a cutout, but they're not. And so in the case of cars like this, when this area is just kind of an open hole in the middle of the hood, it may trap the air. The real car would allow the air to flow through. This one, anytime you have these little closed off areas, it has the potential to trap the air in, and that's not really what you want, because that's not going to be helpful to the car when it is trying to reduce the impact of drag. And when you're facing a car like the RD09 that doesn't have any of that, it's possible that little thing could make the difference. It's sometimes the races are that close, so we'll just have to keep an eye. But generally speaking, this car seems like it should do pretty well. It's got a great kind of aerodynamic profile, I would say. And let me turn it just a little. Yeah. And it is, I think I went too far right there. There we go. And it's got a lightweight, a good aerodynamic profile, and those are two things that's a good place to start, put it like that. And we are going to move on to car number 900, and well, let me check the year. This was manufactured 2025. So that is one more car added to the fleet as we inch closer and closer to car number 1000. Wow, we started around 450, and here we are. This car is metal on plastic, yes. The light gray part of this car is metal, and the black around the bottom is plastic. And it's light, coming in at 30, what was it, just over, slightly over 30 grams. So there is, there it is. The McLaren W1 is next up in the fleet. We've got a lot of supercar action happening today. Let's see. New Year's. Yep. So it's going to be. Here's the thing with the cars I introduced, Christopher. Usually, like, yeah, sometimes there's definitely a theme. I think there's been probably 2 or 3 occasions where we've had a specific theme. The Star Wars, the May the 4th be with you, where we raced all the Star Wars cars, and then the 100th episode where we took all of the cars that had won previously and put those in. But usually I'm trying to get into storage and get those cars out. So if I can find a theme among the cars that I'm looking through in storage, then I will I'll try and put a theme together. But sometimes it's a little tough. Here's something that I found when I was looking in storage. I don't even remember buying this, but it was in storage. This is a little Gulf Transport, little Porsche, and you flip this down, and you get this. Here it is. This Porsche. This is the LH 917 LH, and this is a good looking car. We already have one of these in the fleet, and this is another of my favorite cars. And I'll just go ahead and take a look at this one, because this one is this one's kind of a metal. Oh, it definitely fits. I have a bunch of these. We have one in the fleet. Let's see. Let's get this thing spinning around. So this one, I guess, is because it came with the Transport, so it's kind of a premium version. I think, or maybe they just did something with the racing the truck, the Transport. First, let's see what the Transport even weighs. The Transport weighs 109.4 grams. That's a little heavier, and that's without the car. I don't even know if let's see, would it fit? It will not fit. It's a little too wide. I do have some of those super rigs that actually do fit on the track. And at some point, I'll have to race those. So it's funny because this is the white one is the just sort of the standard mainline version, and they put a little, they didn't sort of skimp on the details, but you can definitely see with the premium version they go a little more, they go all out. So car 17 has a lot more detail on it than the other. I want to see, are they the same weight? So the Hot Wheels, the mainline version, is weighing in at 37.1 grams, and this other one, this one, comes in at 55.8. So this is, yeah, so that's kind of shows the difference between, so this one's metal on metal, this one is metal on plastic, and that is kind of the difference that you get into with the premium cars. And it's why premium cars, they look great, but they tend not to do well on the track. We're going to have to see if this next car can break that trend, yeah, that blue one's definitely heavier. Let's see. The next car is a premium. It's a premium kind of. It's a premium car, and it's probably going to be heavy. But I found this when I was digging through the storage looking for the car that could be the 1,000th car, and came across this one. Speed Machine. It is the Lamborghini Veneno, and I know that we have one of these in the fleet, but it is not. It is not this like. So when I say that I don't want to have duplicates unless there's some significant difference, well, there is going to be a significant difference because this one is all metal, which you see here, metal on metal. But usually when you see that with these cars, right on this side, it'll say Real Riders, which means it has the rubber wheels. So this one doesn't have that, which is great and is why it is going to make it to the track. Yeah, car number 407. We already have a Lamborghini Veneno, but it is not metal on metal. So this is going to be different. But as we just saw with that Porsche, metal on metal versus metal on plastic, there was a difference of like 20 grams. So that is part of what we're going to see. So let's crack this open and take a look. There were some other cars in this collection. Oh, Christopher, you have all 5. I was just about to say, yeah, they have these 5 here. There's a Porsche 911, a McLaren, a Pagani Zonda, and a Ford GT. And then this one, the Veneno. So let's crack this open and take a look. Oh yeah, this car is heavy. We're going to be seeing just what we saw with that Porsche. So let's go ahead and check the weight. It's got plastic wheels, which is fantastic. 54.4 grams is this Lamborghini Veneno. And this is why metal on metal is not the way to go on our track. Now on a gravity track, that might help this car. But we don't race on a gravity track. And because we don't race on a gravity track, there are different things to consider. And one of the things to consider is how heavy this car is. And, I mean, it's a great looking car. Absolutely. Like, there's no... I mean, no doubt about it. When they decide to put in the effort on some of these premium cars, they really go all out. And I'm just surprised that it has plastic wheels, because I know that the premium cars you have to pay more, and most of the people who collect the premium cars expect premium features, and one of the premium features is the rubber wheels. And I don't know. Who knows? But it's in this Speed Machine series, so I don't know if that's specifically talking about just the cars, that these are fast cars, or Lamborghini. Just let me put in the name. Veneno. Veneno. Yeah. If it's just talking about the fact that these are all fast cars, like hypercars, or if it's suggesting that because they put the plastic wheels on them, they are faster Hot Wheels cars. Again, on a gravity track, this would probably beat out the other non-premium Veneno, which I might as well check what and see. Oh, this, I better give a different designation. I'll put Lamborghini Veneno Metal. And let me go ahead and take the still picture of this car. I mean, great looking car. All the details. All the details are there. I think, let's see, get this turned. So this is one that is probably going to throw, it's going to trick some student, and it's not going to really be their fault, but they're going to learn a lesson, because when we talk about aerodynamics and different shapes and styles of cars, and the students gravitate towards Lamborghinis because they kind of check all the boxes for all of the aerodynamic elements that we're talking about. And they just know the name Lamborghini, and they know that that means, those are fast cars. But they might decide to pick this car, and because it's a Lamborghini, and then be shocked at how slow it is. And there's another factor that comes into play, the weight. And this car is going to have a rough go of it. But let me see what the other, I know it was 4 something, the other Lamborghini Veneno is car number 407. Let's take a look at that one. And in fact, I'll probably pull it just to race the two, just to show the difference between a plastic on metal on plastic and metal on metal. 407, 470. It's 4. Here we go. Oh, there we go. The Lamborghini Veneno. In fact. All right. So then, I think what we'll do is, this is car 407. So I think what we'll do is have a little metal on metal showdown action. So 407 Veneno, and then we will, might as well, since it's already here, we'll also race this this white metal on plastic Porsche against the premium transport version. So we're gonna have a real metal on metal, metal on plastic showdown. It's not really going to be much of a competitive situation because we kind of know exactly how this is going to play out, but it'll be interesting just to see how big a gap there is between the cars. And it will go to show how important weight is when it comes to racing these cars. Oh, see, Christopher, you're right there. We're on the same page. We're going to do the matchup, the metal on metal, and we're going to have the Veneno premium versus the Veneno less premium. And this chair, have you ever had one of those chairs with the hydraulics, and when the hydraulics start to go, you just start to sink? And I keep getting lower and lower, and I feel it going right now. But anyway, all right, next up, might as well stick with this theme. I found a Matchbox Lamborghini, a Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato, and this one has some moving parts, but it is Matchbox cars. So here we go again with the Matchbox. We haven't had Matchbox cars do particularly well on the track. We did have that Porsche a couple of weeks ago that won the tournament. It was our first Matchbox car to ever win the tournament. Could this be another one? I don't know, but let's crack this open and take a look. I'm pretty sure on the Lamborghini front we have another of these. It is the, actually no, we have the Lamborghini Sterrato, car number 860. So it wasn't that long ago that we looked at this car. 860. It's about 130 cars ago. Car number 860. Where is it? Right here. Okay. So this is that's the Hot Wheels version. And let's see what this Matchbox version looks like. The Matchbox cars do not, like sometimes with the Hot Wheels cars, they seem to take, I don't know what this is. So the Matchbox car, it's inside this little foam thing, and I'm trying to get it out. Let me just tear it. It's like an Easter egg kind of situation. All right, now no, still don't have. What is this? What? Matchboxes, they're doing a lot with their designs. Some are in a box, some are in this thing. Now they're in this weird styrofoam shell. Either way, got the car out. Let's see what it weighs. Car weighs 34.1 grams, which is pretty good. And let's go ahead and take a look. And it has a bit of a kind of split pea soup green color with black and orange accents. Go ahead and get the still picture while it's sitting there. Just a little. And we have got the still picture. Now I just need the video. Oh wait, what's the moving part? The moving part is the engine compartment pops up. Oh yeah, right there. That's cool. At least it's not it's not anything that's going to interfere with the car. But it's funny, the moving parts. I was looking at an old picture of me from back in, it had to be like the early 80s. It was like a Christmas picture. And there were some cars that I'd gotten. And one of them was, actually there were a few of them, and I didn't recognize. They weren't Matchbox. They weren't Hot Wheels. It was, and I ended up having to Google them. It was a brand called from Z Toys, and they were called Wind Racers. So if you Google Z Toys, Z-E-E, and Wind Racers, then you'll see some of the cars. And there was like a Mazda I remember having. There was a Trans Am. There were a few more, and they were cool cars. I'm surprised that I don't have them around here. I'd have to look kind of deeper into somewhere, because I remember the cars very clearly, but they're not, obviously they don't make them anymore. And I was kind of looking. You can buy them on eBay for way more than I would be willing to spend for some nostalgia, but they are there. Now with this car, I mean, what more can there's not a lot to say about Lamborghinis. We already know that the aerodynamic profile is good. It's a Matchbox car. So I'm trying not to have the bias against the Matchbox cars, but they just haven't historically performed as well as the non-Matchbox cars. So it's just how it is. Now this one is, let's see, this one is metal. Metal body on a plastic base. So I don't know. It's kind of strange that on the Matchbox, part of their selling point is they have this little badge that says metal pieces. Well, if it's only going to be the body, that could be the same for the Hot Wheels cars, metal pieces. So I don't know I still don't know exactly what the specific difference is, but I do know that the Matchbox versions definitely have much more detail. Like, look at just the graphic on that headlight to sort of make it look kind of three-dimensional. And it's just a flat graphic, but the way that they designed it definitely is impressive and gives a different look to it. Here, I can lift this up, but it doesn't stay open. So, oh, maybe it does. There you go. So their detail, it doesn't extend to the engine compartment because they just left that same kind of greenish color. They didn't do anything special. But that part doesn't matter so much because we're definitely going to be racing this thing with that down. Let's take a look at the year on this one. 2025. And I think this has a good shot. My chair drops down again. And there we go. That's car number 963, the Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato, the Matchbox edition. We have a Hot Wheels version in the fleet. And just a reminder, if you just stumbled across this stream, you can go to AtTheTrack.live, select Choose Your Car, and you will be taken to a page that has 990 Hot Wheels cars listed. Find the car that you think will be faster than the Matchbox Lamborghini Sterrato, the metal on metal, what was that other one? That was a Veneno, or faster than the McLaren. We're moving down. We clearly are supercar heavy so far. After you find the car that you want, just take the number, drop it in the chat, and I will pull that, and we'll be good. And you will be entered into the today's tournament, where you will get a chance to see if your car can beat out these cars and this next one that I'm going to introduce. So let's see. We have gone supercar. Let's go completely opposite direction and hit them with the 47 Chevy Fleetline. This is a massive old school car that, considering the cars it's challenging, probably doesn't have that much of a shot. I'm just checking the spreadsheet to make sure don't have one of these in there already. We have a 42 Willys MB Jeep, a 49 Drag Merc, a 49 Merc, blah, 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 and that, let me check, 1947. Don't want to let them slip the 19 in there. Nope, we're all good. All right, so we have this one. This 47 Chevy Fleetline with the little moon eyes situation. All right, let's crack it open. No, the W1's not gonna. I found the 1000th car, and when I found it, when I decided that was gonna be the 1000th car, what I was looking for was a car that kind of had something unique about it, and also I wanted to find a car that could possibly compete to win, because that would be great. All right, so this 47 Fleetline, it's only weighing in at 37 grams, right on the nose, 37 grams, and it is right here. Let's see. Get this off. It is a big car, and it's kind of narrow, despite how it may kind of appear on camera. It's a little narrow. The wheels on the back end, I want to say they're tucked under the body, but really, because of the way that kind of fender flares out and the kind of wheel cover situation that's going on back there, I don't think that these wheels are tucked under in the same way as the cars that I complain about. So if that makes any sense, I think the wheelbase is pretty standard on this one. It's just a long, interesting design, and I don't think that huge frontal area is going to help it at all. Wait, the McLaren. Oh, I forgot to put the other. I see. I was busy looking up I forgot to put the other Lamborghini in the list. All right, let's see. 993 would be this would be the Huracan Sterrato. That's the one I left out. Stop that. Yeah, so it's got this wing right here above the window, above the front windshield, and I don't know what this is, if it was a sunshade type of thing, or if it had some kind of did it have some kind of aerodynamic purpose? If so, were there openings between the roofline and the wing so that the air could pass through? Or was it just to shade the drivers and passengers' eyes? I don't know. But it'll be interesting when we put this in the wind tunnel to see what happens when the air hits that. Because is it going to get just kind of caught up? It's definitely going to impede the flow of the air from coming up over the top and then hitting the roof line. I don't know. This car may have some trouble ahead, which reminds me that we had our worst performance ever from any car on our track was this Grogu car from last week, and it was one of those gimmick cars that had the little tab that made the character bounce around, and it really was. See, now wait, what's going on here? I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the spreadsheet, trying to make sure that I'm not duplicating an entry. We were at 990. We had the McLaren, the Lamborghini, the Veneno, and then the Lamborghini Huracan. There we go. Okay, so Christopher's saying that is the sun visor on there. Okay, that's interesting because you got the sun visor on the outside. What happens when the sun gets lower and you need to adjust it? Was there a switch? I wonder if there was a switch on the inside that that made it adjustable. Yeah, this is a cool car, and like a lot of the coolest cars that we have in the fleet, they're just not likely to be fast. I'll kind of reserve judgment, but just that huge frontal area kind of suggests that this one isn't going to make the cut. But we'll see what happens. But it's got to do better than this car. This Grogu car. This was the worst performing car in the history of At The Track Live, all about aerodynamics, any of it. This car did not make it to the end of the track. But, like I said, it had the little tabs on the wheels that made the Grogu head pop up. And I cut those tabs off. Well, I think that maybe I didn't cut the tab off completely, and it was still running into the Grogu head, trying to activate the little bobbing up and down gimmick. And so I went back in, completely cut the tab off, cleaned it out so there's no more of this tab striking the head. And we're going to run Grogu again, because I cannot believe that any car could be that awful. And if it doesn't fit, it didn't. Not only did it not finish the race, it didn't even make it like halfway down the track. It made it about halfway down the track and then just gave up. And that is that's not Jedi behavior. And so we're gonna run this car again. And if it still doesn't do it, then that's going to be our new standard for cars that perform poorly. You pulled a Grogu. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we're going to have a few little kind of side quest races today, which is going to kind of spice things up. But let's get back to the main situation. You say you have the police version and a regular treasure hunt. Okay, the police. Oh, there's a police version of that 47 Chevy Fleetline. Interesting. You got the treasure hunt version. Nice. Yeah, I don't have many of those. Wait, I didn't even check the year on this one. The year is 2021. On this one, I can't. We are getting close to 1,000 cars, which is just kind of wild. This is the 47 Chevy Fleetline, and we are at car number 994. We've got we've introduced 4 so far, and it is time to introduce another. Let's see, what are we going with? We've got this one, but I think we may already have one, but I'm going to check. We've got a Ford Mustang Mach E 1400. Kind of, I don't, would I describe this as a hatchback? Perhaps. But let me just double check the spreadsheet. Make sure we aren't running a duplicate. Excuse me. Ford Mustang Mach E. No, I'm surprised that we don't have one of these. Well, we do now. The Ford Mustang Mach E 1400. Let's go. All right. Ford Mustang Mach E. Good looking car. Another of the cars that they clearly put a little effort into. Weighs in at 31.6 grams. So it is light. And it is a good looking car. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Right here. And I guess with the dark blue, let me drop in the lighter background so we can get a clear picture. Clear idea about this car. It comes around. And the Ford Mustang Mach E. It's got that huge curved wing at the back. And it sticks out beyond the back end of the car. So that is the part of the car that is going to be touching pressed up against the launching block. So that's going to be interesting. We will see how that plays out. So I scroll back up to enter in car number 965. Huge diffuser at the bottom, and a lot of these cars have those, and it's one of the things that it's a little tough to check when we put the cars in the wind tunnel, because we have little wheel stands to raise the car up into the air streams, and so we don't really get to observe what's happening beneath the cars. And most of these cars are flat anyway, but it would be interesting to see if the diffusers on those cars actually kind of, if we can see in the wind tunnel, them directing that airflow back up, which is what they're intended to do. So you've got the Ford Mustang Mach E 1400, and yeah, let's see. Let me get the still picture. I don't remember if I took the still picture of the Fleetline, so I'll do that as well. Let's see. In here, and switch over to the camera and zoom on in and get a little fill light right there, and we have the Ford Mustang Mach E ready to become a new member of the fleet. The year is 2021 on that one, and I need to take a picture of this, the still picture. And yeah, this is, I really do like this car. I just don't think it's going to be fast. And because of the shape and the style and all of that, this is probably the only time I'm going to see this car race, because it is not the kind of car that a student would pick, and it's not a car that anyone actually trying to choose a winning car would pick. So this may be the one and only opportunity to see the 47 Chevy Fleetline in a drag race. This is it. Today, it's going to happen. All right, so we've got the McLaren W1. We've got the Lamborghini Veneno, that metal one. We've got the Lamborghini Huracan, the Matchbox version. We've got the 47 Chevy Fleetline. We've got the Ford Mustang Mach E, and I would help if I spelled that right. And let's see. We're going to introduce one more. Let's go with or what we could do. So we're at 9. Oh, maybe that's what messed up the count. We're at 995. I've done something on this thing. 991. Huh. Yeah, I've messed up. I've messed up the count. We're somewhere. We're right there. It's 990, and then we've introduced how many? 4, 5. All right, so we're at 995, definitely, and yeah, that's just my spreadsheet. I messed something up. Anyway, we're at 995. So what I'm thinking we might do is leave it at 5. so that next week we can do 5, and then the 5th car will be the 1,000th car. So maybe we'll do that. All right, so then it looks like we've got our lineup. So then I'm going to go and grab that other Veneno, and then Christopher and Roughshod's picks. We'll check those out, and then we'll be all ready. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. We'll be all ready to hit the track. There's another little surprise, but I'm going to go grab those other cars, and then we will be ready to hit the track. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, that took a little longer than expected because I was trying to figure out where I'm looking at my spreadsheet, and so it looks like the numbers are off. So we may actually be one car closer to 1,000 than previously suspected. So, all right. Anyway, today's races, what we're getting into now. I pulled this the other Veneno, and we're going to compare the weight. So let's see. The premium edition, metal on metal, is 54.4 grams. The non-premium edition is 32.5 grams. So yeah, we're going to see what a difference 20 grams makes. that will be, and that's similar to what we saw with the two Porsche 917 LHs. The metal on metal version, as expected, is significantly heavier. But we have other cars to consider, including, so Christopher, he decided to go with this Ferrari, what was it? It was a 365 GTB, and it weighs in at 42.6 grams. It is a heavy car. It is metal on metal. Let's take a look. This is it. And it is, he had a choice between, he had a Ford GT40 and a Ferrari. It was Ford versus Ferrari, and he went with the Ferrari. And I think this car is going to be, I think the weight is what's probably going to end up doing it in. Not, I mean, it's possible that it can, that won't be the issue. But at 42 grams, that's going to put it up there. But we do have a couple of other cars. Well, we have the Lamborghini, the Veneno, which is 50 plus grams. So interesting that this car at 40 something grams is not our heaviest car of the day. Usually if you're at 42 grams, you're going to be our heaviest car. Not so much today. So this is, that's Christopher's pick. And then Roughshod is going with this 2002 Autonomy Concept car, which is pretty unique. It's weighing in at 35.9 grams, so it's not too heavy. But what it has going for it is the disc wheels. And we haven't seen a car with the disc wheels on the track in a while. I think the last time we did was when Roughshod picked the Formula Solar, that kind of green skateboard or surfboard looking car, and that was a surprise because that was the first car we've ever had with those skinny disc wheels to do well on the track. This one could be the other one. And when I was looking at the disc wheels, as I pointed out on Wednesday, you can see right here on the bottom, it says unlock right there. And so what you can do is pull this tab, and then I have to do it off camera. Pull the tab, and then the body of the car detaches from the base, and this is what you get. I don't know why, unless there were other cars that you could swap out the body. I don't really understand why this is this way, but here it is. And so you get to kind of look at the body in a unique way and see all the the openings. So the air should pretty much be able to flow right on through here. And as far as the driver's canopy, it's pretty smooth. There's nothing to really impede that airflow. So when we had this in the wind tunnel, looked good. And it's definitely a car to reckon with. But I think the difference is it's got those wheels. It's got those disc wheels. And the other car, the Formula Solar that had the disc wheels, was really light. This car is not as light. And in fact, at 36 grams, it's kind of at the top end of our sweet spot. So we'll have to see. This will be an interesting car with all those openings. That air should just be able to pass right through there. It's definitely got this, you see a bit of a teardrop, kind of an oval shape. That's good. And we'll see how this all plays out. But really, the air should be able to flow right through here, come up through this opening, still maintain contact right around, follow the lines of the body right to the back to this opening, and then out through the rear opening. That's how it should work in theory. So we'll see what this car can do on the track. And last but not least is going to be a car that just had to make it, had to be included, just given the season that we are in, and it is weighing in at 30.9 grams, a very lean 30.9 grams, and it is this one. It is the Rockin Santa Sled. And Santa Sled, the Rockin part comes because it is another of these cars with the tabs on the wheels to make something happen. And what it makes happen is it made Santa rock back and forth. But had to get rid of the tabs. Had to get rid of the tabs to give Santa a chance. So earlier today, I clipped those tabs off the wheels, and we are going to be hitting the track with the Rockin' Santa Sled for the first time, minus the tabs. So Santa is going to be free to hit the track, and we're going to see exactly what is going to happen. So the Rockin' Santa Sled is also entered in. We've got a whole bunch of races to get to, so let's get ready for that. And as always, if this is your first time, you stumbled across the YouTube page and you clicked on it, if this is your first time watching an all about aerodynamics at the track live race, this is what you are about to see. Our 3-camera racetrack view. The cars are going to start at the top of the screen on the far left. In the launcher, I'm going to give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, race. I'm going to hit the switch. The cars are going to come firing out of the launcher, go from top to bottom, pass out of the bottom of the screen on the left, show up at the top of the screen in the middle. That is the center section of our track. They are going to go from top to bottom, passing out of the bottom section of the screen and showing up at the top of the screen on the right, our finish line camera. They are going to come from top to bottom, crossing the finish line. The winning car will be indicated with a solid red light. A solid red light indicates the winning car. A flashing red light indicates the losing car. The races are best 2 out of 3. The cars switch lanes after each race, and the first car to take 2 races will move on. If a car crashes and leaves the track, that car, there's no problem. We simply reset the cars, rerun that race. If a car crashes twice consecutively, leaving the track, then that car is disqualified, because a car that leaves the track twice consecutively in a crash situation is probably has some other issues and problems that are not going to be resolved by simply rerunning the car down the track. So if a car crashes, lands upside down, sideways, but stays on the track, hey, that counts. In order to get a restart, you have to actually leave the track. So that is that. And we are now ready to hit the track. We've got a full slate of cars. We've got a couple of exhibition races, and we're good to go. So I will see you over at the track in 30 seconds. Okay, let's go ahead and just double check the audio. 1, 2. Yep, we're good. So we are all set up to have some interesting races, double checking the back end of the track. Everything looks good there. And let's see. We are going to, let's just start off with, get these cars lined up. We're going to go with this Porsche. This metal on metal versus metal on plastic to prove, I don't know, I mean, the outcome is almost certain, but, you know, you can't guess. That's the whole point of science is you conduct the experiments. You have your hypothesis, you think you know what's going to happen, and then you conduct the experiment to confirm what you thought was going to happen. So we're going to put the metal on plastic mainline Porsche in lane 2. We're going to put the metal on metal Porsche in lane 1. And what I'm thinking is that the metal on metal car, being about 20 grams heavier, is going to be slower. But is that going to necessarily be the case? I don't know. That's why we have to run the experiment. All right. We've got metal on metal in lane 1. We have metal on plastic in lane 2. Race number 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. And that was a slow race, but as you can see from the solid red light, the winning car is the metal on metal car. As they just creaked and groaned down the track, that was a very slow race. And what we did see, though, toward the end, was the metal car was losing speed at a higher rate. And the other car, the metal on plastic, was gaining, but it ran out of track and couldn't make the full, complete comeback. But that was a very slow race. Wow, that was slow. And I don't know if it was slow because of the cars or they got a bad launch or what was happening, but that was entirely unimpressive. But we're going to switch lanes. We are going to put the metal on plastic car in lane 1. And metal on metal is in lane 2. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. So this time, metal on plastic performed better. And metal on metal had that same slow pace that it had in the first race, which suggests that in the first race, metal on plastic just didn't get a good launch. We're going to see what happens next because we're going to a third and decisive race, which is not what I was expecting. I expected metal on plastic to be very, very, very dominant, and that just wasn't the case. It's just a reminder. This is why we have to conduct the experiments. This is why we have to actually run the races, because you just don't know. You just don't know. You think you know, but you just don't know. All right, let's get... Come on. Here we go. All right. Here we go. We have the metal on metal Porsche in lane 1. We have the metal on plastic Porsche in lane 2. Race number 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Metal on Metal takes the race and takes it by a significant margin. I'm a little confused. I'm a little perplexed by what we just saw, and I'm thinking I've got what? I'm checking the launcher, but hey, the results are the results. That is surprising, and what it does is it gives hope to the Veneno, because the Veneno is in a similar situation of being outweighed by 20 grams, or weighing 20 grams more than its competitor. And so let's go ahead and hit that race right now. Veneno versus Veneno. And we're going to go metal on metal versus metal on plastic. So, is this a metal on metal revolution? I'm not sure what exactly is happening, but whatever it is, very unique. All right, so we're going to go metal on plastic Veneno in lane 2. We're going to go metal on metal in lane 1. So metal on plastic lane 2. Metal on metal lane 1. Here we go. Race 1. Three, two, one, race. Once again, metal on metal takes it. Roughshod saying, yeah, that blue one seems a little wider. It may just be how it looks, because these cars are pretty much, not pretty much, they're identical. Other than the one having the plastic base. And here we go again. We've got this metal car taking the race. This is a little peculiar. Because I'm getting a sense that something is happening here. Let's see. I'm just checking this launcher. I mean, we've got the launcher. I'm looking at the track. I checked the track beforehand. Everything is good. That's just an odd situation. Now, if we have this race where, so we're switching lanes, and we're putting the Veneno, the red one, the metal on metal in lane 2, and we're putting the metal on plastic version in lane 1. If the one in lane 1 blows out the metal version and then we go back, I might have to switch up the launcher. But I'm not sure. I don't see anything wrong or different with the launcher. The way it's designed, no car should be getting an advantage. And I'm looking at the track. Everything seems good. So here we go. All right, we're going to go with the metal on metal Veneno in lane 2 and the metal on plastic in lane 1. Race 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Trying to figure out. I don't see anything happening on the track that's making me suspicious, but the outcome is making me suspicious. We're gonna switch lanes, and if this metal on metal Veneno destroys the metal on plastic one out of lane 1 once again, then I am going to try something, because although again, I don't think it's not a launcher issue, because the launcher, the launching blocks are connected and they move forward together, and so there's not a way that one side of the launcher can give an advantage to one car or the other. Which then my next thing makes me say, okay, let me look at the track. And I checked the track beforehand, and there's nothing that I see that is different. So we're switching them up. We've got the metal on metal Veneno in lane 1. We've got the metal on plastic Veneno in lane 2. Race number 3. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Yeah, that's a peculiar result. So here's what I'm going to do for the purposes, kind of making sure that we are, accounting for all the little variables. I am going to switch out. I'm going to switch out the launcher. And when I do that, then what we should have is, if we get the same result with the different launcher, then we'll know for a fact that it is not the launcher that is responsible for what we're seeing. And it is somehow, I don't know what it would be, but I'm switching out the band on the bottom of the launcher. Okay, getting that in place, because again, the way that this is designed, the launcher, as long as it's moving forward, it's not giving any more force to one side of the track or the other. So that is not what's happening. All right, so we've got this launcher, we've got a different launcher in place. Now let me just make sure that at the finish line I have adjusted that the sensors didn't get moved, which they did. All right, so the sensors are still in place. Good. All right, let's line these cars up again. Different launcher, and see if we get the same result. Because if it is truly a situation where the metal on metal car is faster, then it shouldn't matter. It should be faster regardless. So let's go ahead. We're going to drop metal on metal in lane 1 and metal on plastic in lane 2. And here we go. We're going to rerun this race with a different launcher. See what happens. Metal on metal lane 1, metal on plastic lane 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Okay, so first thing I noticed, much faster launching. So maybe that other launcher, the cars were kind of hanging up. I mean, there's any number of reasons, but that was a faster race, and we got the outcome that we kind of really suspected and expected, which was the The cars, I mean, it was still closer than I would have thought that it would be, but the metal on plastic car, the lighter car, came out on top. We're going to switch lanes and see what we get. So let's go. Metal on metal is now in lane 2. Metal on plastic, lane number 1. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Okay, so despite the weight difference, we've got, that was another quick race. The cars were moving, but we've got metal on metal took one. So we are going to a third and final race. We are going to see if maybe maybe it really didn't matter about the launcher, because this metal on metal car is still hanging in there. So despite that huge weight difference, what's huge on our track, 20 grams, we are seeing the metal on metal car do well. All right, so we're switching it up. We've got the metal on metal Veneno in lane 1, and we've got the metal on plastic version in lane 2. Race 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Whew. That was a good, close race. We had the metal on plastic Veneno take it, but that was pretty close. All right, so that is the second of the gimmick exhibition races that we've got to get out of the way. But now we're going to hit one more. We're going with Grogu. See if Grogu can get some redemption. We're just trying to get Grogu to finish the race. Grogu versus the Rockin Santa Sled. And we're going to see if this Rockin Santa Sled, now that it's been freed up, both of these cars have been freed up from the constrictions of those tabs. And we are going to find out now which of these cars is in fact going to be fast. I just want Grogu to finish, because that was an embarrassment. That was an embarrassment to Hot Wheels, to Star Wars, to everything. Grogu is in lane 2, and let me check to make sure we don't. Oh, yeah, we have to use that different acrylic cover. Grogu's a little too tall with those ears. And get Santa locked back in. Grogu in position. Come on. Grogu not cooperating fully. Come on. It's a lot of trouble for this car. All right. Grogu is in lane 2. Santa is in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Grogu still couldn't finish. It's pathetic. So sad. Awful. So Grogu, we're gonna give it. It's gonna get one more shot to cross the finish line. That's all we're looking for at this point. Just cross the finish line. Came up a little short, but I can't think of any cars that we've had other than cars with real riders. We've never really had a car with regular Hot Wheels wheels that has failed to cross the finish line. Like, this is bare minimum stuff. All right, let's try it again. We have Rockin Santa Sled in lane 2. We have Grogu in lane 1. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. It's a minor victory of sorts. Grogu barely crosses the finish line, and I guess that's the best that we can hope for. Yeah, Grogu used the Force. That is that is that is not the way. That is not the way to race on our track. But it is a Christmas miracle that Grogu finally eventually crossed the finish line. All right, we've got all of those races kind of out of the way. Now it's time to get into the serious business of finding out which of these cars is going to be the one to take on the RD09 for the fastest in fleet title. We are looking at let's go ahead and go. We're going to go with Christopher's Ferrari, which was kind of heavy, against the metal on metal Veneno that has previously raced. We're going to see which of these two cars can come out on top. And the thing is that we already saw that the Veneno's weight did not hurt it in that matchup against the metal on plastic, or the metal on plastic Veneno. So it competed against a car that weighed less than this Ferrari. So we're going to see how that works out in this race. We have the Lamborghini Veneno metal on metal edition in lane 1. We have Christopher's Ferrari in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. That race was very close. The Veneno took it. So this Veneno is, despite its weight, it is a pretty fast car. And I think that when you start having to ask those questions about it's a heavy car, but why is it doing so well? I think then you have to start to look at the aerodynamics and its ability to reduce the impact of drag, because the weight, on the weight side, you can kind of see at the back end of the track, you can see a little bit when the heavier car, in this case the Lamborghini, starts to slow down towards the back end and the other car begins to gain on it a little bit. You can see that. And that's a result of that additional weight. But the thing is, it is not starting to slow down until the back end of the track, when it's already kind of built up a substantial enough lead that that slowdown isn't going to hurt it too much. So we're going to see what's going to happen now. Switch lanes. We've got the Lamborghini Veneno metal on metal in lane 2. We've got Christopher's Ferrari, which is also metal on metal, lane 1. Race 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Whew. And that Veneno takes it. The big boys were racing, and the biggest of the big boys came out on top. So we've got the Veneno weighing in at 54 grams, I believe that's what it was. And it's got the job done. So it is moving on. It's the first car moving on today. Next up, we're going to go with, let's have the that 47, what was that? The Fleetline, the Chevy Fleetline. We'll send that up against the Mach E. And let me just make sure the Mach E doesn't need the taller acrylic cover. It does not. The Chevy Fleetline, let's get that locked in. I think we all agreed it's a good looking car. don't know what to expect on the track. Don't really expect much, but sometimes those low expectations are easy to overcome. So let's get this car set up. The Fleetline is in lane 2. The Mach E is in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Okay, so the Mach E took it. The Fleetline was hanging in there for a while, for at least 2/3 of the track, the way down the track. It was competitive. Didn't win, but good showing. We're going to switch lanes and see if this Fleetline can pull off a Christmas miracle like Grogu and make something unexpected happen. At least Grogu finally crossed the finish line. That's just, I mean, come on. You got to do that. Switching up lanes. Fleetline is in lane 1. The Mach E is in lane 2. Race 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Yeah, these cars are getting some speed. That Mach E took the race. Fleetline, thank you for playing, but you can go ahead and return to the garage. And that may be, like I said, I can't imagine this car being picked unless there was some special stipulation that restricted people from picking anything other than yellow cars with big grills. So I don't know. That might have been the first grand opening, grand closing for the Fleetline. All right, next up, we are going to go with let's go with the McLaren versus Roughshod's Autonomy 2002 Autonomy Concept car, which is really one of the most unique cars that we have raced in a while. Not because it's a fantasy car, but just because of the wheel setup, the openings around the car, and I'm just curious about the airflow and just what the performance is going to be. I just don't know with these thin disc wheel cars what to expect. We had a good performance from the Formula Solar, and then other cars with the disc wheels have been awful. They haven't been Grogu awful, but they haven't been good. And this one, I can't get it to stay in place. As I always say, I've got to get these cars to be pressed up right against the launching block. Otherwise, they're going to get punched out, and that's going to cause some problems with the launch. All right, we have the Autonomy Concept in lane 2, and we have the McLaren W1 in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Ooh, man. So that Autonomy Concept car was in the lead, and it was in the lead for a little over halfway. Then the cars kind of pulled even, and then the McLaren just beat it out. And when the McLaren beat it out, the Autonomy car was slowing just a bit, and that's the thing. If a car starts slowing down, and usually that's a result of drag, and the other forces, but drag in particular, then that other car, if it's able to minimize the impact of drag even a little bit, it is going to look like it is gaining speed, and it is going to catch and pass the car that it's racing. And that is just what we saw happen. That Autonomy Concept car was out in front very clearly and just couldn't hold the lead. All right, switching lanes. Autonomy Concept in lane 1, McLaren W1 in lane 2, race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. So the Autonomy Concept car held its lead, but man, at that last third of the race, you could see that McLaren was just gaining, and it just ran out of track. If this track had been another 3 or 4 feet longer, the McLaren would have taken that very clearly. So this Autonomy Concept car with the disc wheels is getting off to great starts. It's just having a little trouble holding on at the end. That time it did. The question is, can it do it this time? And we are going to find out, because this is the third and final race. We've got the McLaren in lane 1, the Autonomy Concept car, disc wheels, wide openings in lane 2. Race 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Whew. The Autonomy Concept car holds on and takes the race. That was very close. I mean, it was about to do the same thing. We had the same kind of start with the Autonomy Concept car getting off to a very good and quick start. And toward the back end, we had that McLaren just moving on it and taking advantage of every little bit of slowdown that the Autonomy Concept showed. But once again, the McLaren ran out of track. And as a result, the Autonomy Concept car moves on with the Mach and the Veneno. And we are going to see which car is up next. Let's go with this Matchbox Huracan. And we're going to go with the Huracan. We'll go Lambo versus Lambo. We're going to go Matchbox Huracan versus we're going to go Veneno, Lamborghini Veneno versus the Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato. The Sterrato is the Matchbox, the green one. And let's see. We will put the heavy Veneno in lane 1. We will put the Sterrato in lane 2. These cars both keep pulling away from the launching block, which is not what I want to see. I want to see them stay right in place. All right, here we go. Metal on metal, Veneno in lane 1, Huracan Sterrato Matchbox in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. I'm as blown away by the performance of the Veneno as any car that I can remember recently, because it's so heavy. But if it continues this level of performance, now granted it was racing a Matchbox car, and in the previous race it was racing another heavy car, but it beat out the other Veneno that was metal on plastic. It beat it out, and it is just a surprise. So we're going to switch lanes. We're going to put this Huracan Sterrato in lane 1, and we're going to drop the Veneno into lane 2, and we are going to see which car comes out on top. This is race number 2. We've got the metal on metal Veneno in lane 2, and the Sterrato, the Matchbox, in lane 1. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And the Matchbox had no shot because it went up on the barrier, went up on 2 wheels, then it corrected, got back on the track, but you can't make those kind of mistakes and have those kinds of poor launches against a car that has already demonstrated that it is fast. So the Veneno takes that race, and the Veneno has made it to the finals, which is totally and completely unexpected because of the weight. So the Veneno is in the finals and will await the winner between the Mach E and Roughshod's Autonomy Concept car. So we're going to put the Autonomy car in lane 2 and put the Mach E in lane 1. And here we go, race number 1. Mach E in lane 1, Autonomy in lane 2. Race 1. Three, two, one, race. Solid red light means the Autonomy took it, and that is one step closer. It's very interesting because this Autonomy car is definitely slowing towards the back end because that Mach E started closing the gap. But what's happening is the Autonomy is building up such a big lead, or just enough of a lead, that even though it starts to slow down at the back end noticeably, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's just not enough track left for the other car to catch up. And all it has to do is do that one more time, and it will be in the finals. So you've got the Mustang Mach E in lane 2, and the Veneno in lane 1. If I can get it to stay in place, which it is not trying to do. That's fine, we'll get it. There we go. All right, Autonomy Concept in lane 1, and the Mach E in lane 2, race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And same, I mean, it's the Autonomy is running the same playbook. It is get off to a good lead, maintain that lead through the first half of the track, and in that last third, it starts to give up ground, but there is just not enough time for the other car to catch up. So we have our finals matchup, which is going to be Roughshod's 2002 Autonomy Concept car against the Lamborghini Veneno, the metal on metal monster that is just defying all of the expectations of heavy cars. So we're going to go and put the Autonomy Concept in lane 1. The Veneno is in lane 2. This is race 1. This is for the title. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. And the Autonomy Concept stays just ahead of the Veneno, just enough to take the race. So the Autonomy Concept is really kind of an interesting pick. It's got the disc wheels. So Roughshods found another disc wheeled car that's done well. So it might not just it's a combination. It's the disc wheels and the design, because we've had disc wheel cars, the majority of them that we've tried have performed poorly. But Roughshod has found the two so far that can get the job done on the track. And his Autonomy Concept car is one race away from taking the title today and going on to face the RD09. But this Lamborghini has proven that it's got some fight in it. So we've got the Autonomy Concept in lane 2. We have the Lamborghini Veneno Metal on Metal in lane 1. Race number 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. And similar results. The Autonomy Concept stayed ahead. The Lamborghini was not able to close the gap and close the distance, and it lost the race. And therefore, the winning car, today's tournament champion, is Roughshod's 2002 Veneno Concept car. So we've got the Veneno Concept, and now it is going to take on the RD09 and see if it can become our fastest in-fleet car. This would be a pretty significant victory for disc-wheeled cars all over the world. So let's get this lined up, locked in, and see what we can see. All right, we have the concept car in lane 2, presuming it can stay put. There we go. And we have the RD09, our fastest in fleet champion, in lane 1. All right, RD09, lane 1. Autonomy Concept, lane 2, race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Whew. That was close. The RD09 pulls it out by a hair. And at least from my perspective, because I had to look at the lights on the finish line to see which car came out on top. And the solid red light indicates our winner. That is the RD09. The cars are going to switch lanes, and then we will see if the RD09 is going to make it a clean 2-0 sweep, or if we're going to have to go to a third and final race. So let's see what we've got. We have the 2002 Autonomy Concept in lane 1. Our fastest in fleet car, the RD09, is in lane 2. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. RD09 remains our fastest in fleet car. The Concept, it did a good solid job, but just didn't get it done. And let me gather up these cars, head back into the garage. We're going to take a look at the winners, the losers, and what is coming up next. Just a minute. So the RD09 remains our fastest in fleet car. It has just continued to perform, and I thought maybe this Autonomy Concept car might get it, but it did not. It was pretty. It was a good races all around, but it just wasn't enough. And the RD09, what can you say? It's been about a month and a half, probably, that this has been our fastest in fleet car. The aerodynamics, when we put it into the wind tunnel, we see what this car has got, what it has, and there's a good aerodynamic profile. I can't call into question the back end of the car anymore because it's gotten consistent launches and it's performed consistently. So there's not much to complain about with this car at all. It has just continued to win, and it hasn't necessarily been as totally dominant as some of the other cars that we have seen in the past, but it's on its way. I remember when the Blitzspeeder was kind of in the middle of its run, it was just destroying cars. Like, the races were not even close. With this car, the races are closer. It's still winning, and it's not so close that I have to go and look at the finish line camera or the lights to see which car crossed first. But the races are definitely closer. It's not necessarily blowing cars out. But doesn't matter if you win by a mile or a millimeter. You cross the finish line first, you are the champion. And this is our fastest in fleet car ongoing. But I think we had two kind of interesting results. And one definitely being roughshod this concept car, because this car was fast and it started to slow down, consistently started to slow down toward the back end of the track just a little, and it allowed some of the faster cars to actually close that gap and catch up. That McLaren W1 should have, well, it would have caught this car if there'd been a little bit more track, but there wasn't a little bit more track. We have a 1/64 scale quarter-mile drag strip, and that's what we've got. So this car got out to great starts, had good middle sections of the race that it was moving down the track, no issues, no problems, and then toward the back end, for whatever reason, it starts to slow down. But just a marginal amount, and you can see it. You can see the other car closing the gap. But it did well enough to make it to the finals and put up a good race. I think part of it is those disc wheels. I don't know. But clearly, they didn't hurt this car at all. And in looking at it, I think one of the things is that with the disc wheels, what we're seeing is this. That airflow is pretty much, it's protecting, so the wheels aren't really getting in the way of the flow of the air. And what I mean by that is because they're so thin, you look and they're really, this is the only part of the wheel that's exposed. I mean, this little disc. So the air just has to travel around that part of the wheel. And the air is not really going to be getting trapped at the front of the car because it has these openings. Usually in the wind tunnel, we see air stacking up in the front, and then it has to go over, under, and around the body of the car. But in this case, the air is hitting this little point here, and then it's able to funnel right into these open areas. And once it gets there, it's coming out this back area and it should be flowing right along this curve of the body as this car goes down the track, and then it should flow right into this area and then right out the back. And the thing is, because this wheel is so thin, it's not wide and it's not impacting the flow of air through this channel right there. So I think that is part of what helped this car perform so well on the track. Also, the fact that there is nothing up top obstructing the airflow. There's not a big drop off from the roof down to the back of the car, which is something we've seen in cars that have done well. So I think this was a solid pick, and it's kind of a sleeper because I don't recall this car ever being picked before. And it took today's tournament. It didn't beat the RD09, but it did take the tournament, and there is another victory for the disc-wheeled cars. And it really isn't about, it's about more than just the wheels. It's about the wheels plus the design. And if you have the wheels plus the design, then clearly you can make some noise on the track. But I think the biggest surprise of the day had to be this 54.5 gram monster right here. This Lamborghini Veneno, I couldn't have imagined that a car coming in at 54 grams was going to make it all the way down to the finals of our tournament. There was just no way. And I switched out the launcher because I wanted to see if there was an issue with the launcher that was maybe creating some issue, but it didn't seem to be that. And we switched out the launcher, and this car still performed above and beyond expectations. So it's just another sign to show that just because a car is heavy does not mean that it is automatically disqualified. The design absolutely has something to do with that. We're going to put this car in the wind tunnel, and we're going to take a look at how the air is flowing over, under, and around this car, because by all accounts, it should not have performed as well as it did especially against cars that were, in one case, exactly the same, and cars that were significantly lighter, but not so light as to be under our kind of sweet spot threshold. But yeah, the Lamborghini Veneno did outstanding. It did an outstanding job on the track, and I'm trying to see. There's little openings on the side. So these little openings right behind the door kind of curves in right here. Those little slits, they are open. They are open to the back, to the inside, just inside the wheel. So perhaps that actually helped this car, the aerodynamics, with this being a premium car. Perhaps they paid more attention to the actual design. We see again the big diffuser and the wing right there at the roof line level. Not a big drop off from the roof down to the back of the car. So I'll be interested to see this car in the wind tunnel, and we will find out. Maybe we'll get a little bit more insight as to why this big, heavy car performed as well as it did. So, good day even for the lowly Grogu that finally managed to cross the finish line. Lost out to Santa, but if you got to losing to Santa is not a bad deal at all. So that is where we ended. We are I've got to go back and adjust and check the count on the spreadsheet because it's off by one in one direction or the other. So we are either 5 cars away from 1,000 or 4 cars away from 1,000. Either way, the 1,000th car will be in the mix next Saturday, and we will see if it can do as well as the Lamborghini, as well as the concept car, and really make a statement as our 1,000th car into the fleet. Let's see. Christopher is looking for car 444 and 445. We will check those out in the wind tunnel on Wednesday. And the red and green cars, I'm going to look. When I go through the storage, I'm going to take a look when I'm pulling out cars and see if I can find some that loosely or somehow tie into a holiday theme. But we will see. Making the launcher wider for trucks. Yeah, I talked about a couple of potential options and things I was thinking about as to how to make the launcher a little more adjustable to accommodate trucks. But that definitely is not just a simple kind of thing, because it requires, precise measurement and then some changing of the 3D print design plans. And I learned the 3D design software just so that I could design a custom launcher. And it took me a long time and a lot of trial and error to get it. So I think in order to make it an adjustable version, I would probably need to hire someone who had more expertise and was more efficient, and then I could just kind of describe to them what I wanted, and then they can do it. But that is that's another project and much more money. So eventually I'll figure something out. But for now, we are on the march to 1,000. We will be there this time next week. We will be here next week and every Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific at the Track Live. Hot Wheels races, Hot Wheels reviews. If you want to watch any past episodes with time codes so you can jump around to the part that you want to see, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, hit the live tab. All the episodes are listed. If you want to see a little bit more scientific approach and some of the aerodynamics of these cars, join us every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram for Wind Tunnel Wednesday. And if you want even more information about our science program, all about aerodynamics, just go to our website, aaerodynamics.com, or follow us on Instagram at aaerodynamics. All that information is there. If you want to pick a car, just go to AtTheTrack.live, select the Choose Your Car tab, and boom, you will be looking at 990 plus cars that one of which could be like the car Roughshod picked, unconventional, disc wheels, the detachable body, all kinds of things, unique shape, strange openings. But what did it do? It took our tournament today. So there's probably plenty of cars like that haven't been picked, haven't had a chance to race. Maybe you can find it. Maybe you can take the next tournament. So we will be back here on Saturday with our 1,000th car and more. So I will straighten out the count on the spreadsheet. Either way, 1,000 cars coming next Saturday. Thank you for watching. And for Wind Tunnel Wednesday, for At The Track Live, for All About Aerodynamics, I am Coach James. And until next time, I will see you at the races.